Okay, so we got a couple more things to cover. I'm gonna go through. I never do these, but we'll go through this like slide deck of like purple teaming tools, and we'll talk about them because I went through them. I did a little pre-peek, and I don't recognize most of them. I want to learn about these. Over 400,000 corporate credentials are stolen by info-stealing malware. Let's check it out. Corpo creds, the best
Over
type of creds.
400,000 corporate credentials stolen by info-stealing malware. Bill Tolas. The analysis of nearly 20 million information-stealing malware logs.
Hey, but Kick people, if you can get your friends to follow me if they're on Kick, that would really mean a lot because I need more followers on Kick. So, yeah, guys, if you can get your friends, your Kick pals to come and, kick me a follow, that would be really cool, guys, all right?
The analysis of nearly 20 million information-stealing malware logs sold on the dark web and Telegram channels revealed that they had achieved significant infiltration into business environments. Information stealers are malware that steals data stored in applications such as web browsers, email clients, instant messengers, cryptocurrency wallets, FTP clients, and gaming services. The stolen information is packaged into archives called logs, which are then uploaded back to the threat actor for use in attacks or sold on cybercrime marketplaces. The most prominent information stealing families are Redline, Raccoon, Titan, Aurora, and Vitor, offered to cybercriminals on a subscription-based model, allowing them to conduct malware campaigns that steal data from infected devices. While information stealers primarily target careless internet users who download software, such as cracks, Juarez, game cheats, and fake software from dubious sources, it has also been found to have a massive impact on corporate environments. This is because employees use personal devices for work or access personal stuff from work computers, resulting in many info-stealer infections stealing business credentials and authentication cookies.
True.
More specifically, as cybersecurity firm Flare explains in a new report shared with Bleeping Computer, there are approximately 375,000 logs containing access to business applications such as Salesforce, HubSpot, QuickBooks, Oz, GCP, Okta, and DocuSign.
Basically, guys, I've worked at a hospital where there are 27,000 Windows computers, and I would get rid of every single piece of malware every single day. And then the doctors would come back in, and they'd log back into their personal Gmail accounts, and they'd re-pull all of their Chrome extensions, and then boom, 7 more infections. Incredible. Gotta love it.
More specifically, Flare
Keyloggers,
found the following in
Stealers.
the examined stealer logs: 179,000 Oz console credentials, 2,300 Google Cloud credentials,
Gotta love it.
64,500 DocuSign credentials, 15,500 QuickBooks credentials.
If you're trying to, Potato and JRX, if you're just trying to get your foot in the door, find either, a SOC or be a sysadmin. If you start as a sysadmin and then here's what you gotta do. I did the same thing. I automated a lot of my job. Unfortunately, it resulted in them firing everybody but me because they were doing less work. I just automated a bunch of my job so I could fuck around more, right? So I could fuck around and read articles like we're doing right now. The other guys were playing World of Warcraft on their computer and not getting any work done. I was automating my job. They were doing nothing. They saw my output. They fired everybody but me. Sadly, it was just me in the basement for a couple months. Me in a basement office for a couple months, with 3 empty desks. You know what I mean? But on the bright side, I had my own office and it was finally quiet.
In addition to the above,
No,
there
it
are
sucked.
about
It sucked when everybody got
48,000
fired,
logs
but
that
that was
include
kinda whack.
access to Okta.com, an enterprise-grade identity
a good
management
place to start.
service used by organizations
Start as
for
a sysadmin.
cloud and
Start in a SOC.
on-premise user authentication.
You'll learn a lot.
Most-
You'll learn a lot about people and you'll learn a lot about computers if you work in a SOC or if you work as a sysadmin.
Most of these logs, 74%, were posted on Telegram channels, while 25% were seen on Russian-speaking marketplaces, like the Russian market.
Gotta
Logs
love
containing
Telegram.
corporate access were overrepresented on Russian market and VIP Telegram channels, indicating that the methods attackers use to harvest logs may incidentally or intentionally have more corporate targeting, describes the Flare report. Additionally, public Telegram channels may deliberately post lower-value logs, saving high-value logs for paying customers. Source of logs containing business account info, Flare.
It really depends where you live, JRX. Like, it depends on, which region of the world, you know what I mean? Or country. Okay, so 200,000 Stealer logs contained OpenAI creds. We've been showing people stealing OpenAI creds since the advent of OpenAI. There have been all sorts of JavaScript stealers. You're watching someone else's science technology. Oh, cool, awesome. Which is double the amount of group you saw section. Oh, okay, cool. I guess like somehow they're naturally pushing me up to the top, or there's just nobody streaming in the category. Because yeah, I was not getting anybody. I was getting like 2 people a stream. Max, which is double the amount Group IB reported recently and constitutes a risk for leaking proprietary information, internal business strategies, source code, and more. Let's see. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are here. Corporate credentials are considered tier 1 logs, making them particularly high valued in the cybercrime underground. Yeah, definitely. They are sold on private Telegram channels, forums, exploit, and XSS. I don't know this form. Can you sub on here? You definitely sub. Oh, thank you, man. I need 24 more followers before I can enable subscriptions. How often do I stream? Every single day. Cybercrime and tech news every single day, 7 days a week, 365. Cybercrime stays on my mind. I appreciate you, JRC. Thank you. I do have like a... So like on Twitch, obviously, I have been streaming for a while. So I'm already set up there. I've been streaming since like October 2022, like, you know, consistently. Before that, I wasn't really streaming. What's up, Globus? So yeah, this is how I take donations for the top left thing for the bags. XSS is a forum is a OG Russian cybercrime forum. XSS.is. Thank you for sharing that. I had no idea. Yeah, obviously we know about like breach forums, right, and Pom-Pom-Purin and all that stuff because those are like a little more Westerns. Thank you for sharing that. I didn't even know about that. I know, yeah, there's an exploit forum. Almost there for kick subs. Yeah, man, it's hard. It's hard, you know, if I was a little sexy or something, you know what I mean? If I took off my shirt, maybe, you know what I mean? But I'm not there yet. I don't need the money like that, you know what I mean? Just bring your friends. Just bring your friends 24. I promise. We have fun. We have fun, I promise. Get your friends over. So, high-valued cybercrime underground sold on private Telegram channels or forums.
That value is derived from the potential profit cybercriminals can make by leveraging compromised credentials to access CRMS, RDP, VPNs, and SaaS applications. And
remember, this is how Teapot hacked Uber and Rockstar Games. Teapot, as we just found out, is an 18-year-old kid. I think he's Indian. I think he's a Russian-Indian kid. Okay? What's okay? I hope you're okay. So basically, CRM, RDP, VPN, and SaaS applications. Hey, Chase, thank you for following me on Kick. Appreciate you, man. 52, we're at 52 followers on Kick. 52 out of 75. Holy shit, let's go, guys. Let's go. Oh my god. You know what? If a lot of you make a Kick account and follow me, it's pretty poggy-woggy madoggy. CRMs, right? So customer relations management systems. These have a lot of PII in them. This has contract information. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for doing that. RDP, right? Remote Desktop Protocol. We talk about RDP a lot, how RDP is targeted. We actually read an article several months ago about how RDP attacks are just, you know, probably one of the most prolific types of attack. With leaked credentials, VPNs. Well, this is how Teapot got into Rockstar Games and leaked Grand Theft Auto 6 stuff. Hey, it's true. It's true. Globus did do it. That's true. He was one of the first. SaaS applications, right? Anything, software as a service, right? Things in the cloud, you know, maybe you can connect to their Zillow or their Zoho or, sorry, Zillow. What's the other one starts with a Z? Fuck. Not Zoho. Zapier. Oh my god. Zapier and Zoho, not Zillow. You could connect to their SaaS applications that they have in the cloud that are integrated into things like Slack, that are integrated into things like their CI/CD pipeline. And you could exfiltrate keys, potentially. And then, yeah, if you get into these services, right, whether it's a VPN or SaaSes, and, you know, you get some other details that allow you to, you know, traverse and potentially, what's the word, pivot throughout their environment, yes, then you can drop all of your backdoors, shells, payloads, ransomware along the way. A path of destruction, if you will.
Based on evidence from the dark web forum.
That's how I would do it if I was a criminal, but as you all know, I am not a criminal. I've never done a single thing criminal in my life. And, you know, I'll post this in Kick because I don't have a command for it. We do not endorse cybercrime. I do not endorse cybercrime. People like to come here and say that I am causing more cybercrime. That is pretty funny. It's like if we were to spread the word about obesity, I would be causing more obese people. It's pretty funny how people think I am enabling cybercrime. I am not enabling cybercrime. However, I will teach you things that could be used for criminal purposes. I expect you to be mature and adult and smart enough not to actually do crime But instead, I'd rather teach you guys. I'd rather teach you guys how to do things that will allow you to increase your earning potential. Capitalism threatens you with homelessness, starvation, and death. It is the single most compelling force in the universe. I used to work illegally on a farm as a child. I worked 8-hour days illegally on a farm as a child, and I made my way up to, making like over $250,000 a year as a security professional. You can do the same thing. It is not out of reach. And, if you need money, there is no ethical consumption under late-stage capitalism. It doesn't matter who you work for. We have people who have created global mass surveillance apparatus enabling technology. They're part of the community. We have people in the community who have stolen tens of thousands of dollars from the largest companies in the world. They're still part of this community. So even if you've made mistakes in the past, you can be part of this community. All I do is I ask that you do not bring crime, you do not bring a criminal element to this chat, because we are trying to do something that is good. We're trying to do something that is good, and people are already telling me that I'm doing something that is bad. So fuck them. Okay. Let's continue.
Based on evidence from the dark web forum Exploitin, we rate it as highly likely that initial access brokers are using Stealer logs as a principal source to gain an initial foothold to corporate environments that can then be auctioned off on top tier. Dark
You're not
web
a bad
forums,
person for trying to do well
explains
under
Claire
capitalism.
researcher Eric Clay. It is recommended that businesses minimize the risk of info-stealer malware infections by imposing the use of password managers,
I'm glad to hear that,
enforcing
man. I'm glad to hear that,
multi-factor
Chase.
authentication, and setting strict controls on personal device use.
I had a friend DM me yesterday, right? Like, he's Asian. He moved to this country, right? He moved from a different country. He moved to this country. And he's DMing me about how people always get his name wrong. And, like, even as he's leaving his company after he worked there for 2 years and got laid off, they're still typing his name wrong in emails. And, like, they can't bother to get it right. And he's corrected them so many times. And he's just, like, fed up. And, it just gets into this whole conversation about how he feels like he's losing himself working under this current model, right? Like, because he's from an Asian culture. He's like, well, I can't do the whole, like, Asian humility, submissive, like, programmer thing anymore because I'm just getting walked all over. And, it's like, it's so sad, man. It's so sad how much capitalism makes us compromise our moral belief system and our natural, our innate human quality, which is, when we see somebody else in pain, to help them, right? Like, that is a human thing that is, like, kind of perverted from society through markets and competition and, like, extreme individualism. So it's very sad. Wow, can't even get the name right. Yeah, laid his ass off after 2 years. He's been doing excellent work. He's a super smart guy. And we're cutting costs. We're tightening our belt. Tightening the belt loop. And I'm like, yeah, man, like, we're all just reduced to a number under this current system. Like, nobody actually gives a fuck about you. There's no point in any company loyalty. I'm bringing all these harsh realities to him. And, it ended on a good note, and he's in a good spot. He's in a good, like, mental spot right now. But it's so sad, to, like, people who I really, really like and appreciate, really good friends of mine, people I've known since, like, 2017, to, like, see them, and these are all things, when I was working as a child on a farm, doing illegal child labor, these are things that I was thinking about, you know what I mean? Because I was still, like, a nerd, a philosophy nerd. I was still, just like a, honors AP student, right? So, like, I was definitely, like, these are things that I'd already thought about. These are realizations I'd already come to. The world is cruel and unloving, and it is just the way it is. So, like, don't let that change you. Don't let, this shit. Yeah, capitalism rewards exploitation. Yeah, you got to stomp on people underfoot if you want to get to the top. Or you at least need to, like, minimize them and, make yourself seem like the shit. Right? Which is, I tell them, you got to compartmentalize it. It works for some people, it doesn't work for others. You got to compartmentalize your work and your personal/family life. Because, yeah, he said, I don't like the monstrosity that I feel like I'm becoming, under the system. And it's like, he's not an overly political guy. I've known him for a while. He's just, hey, what's up, Miss Frizzle? But yeah, he's not like an overly political guy. I'm like, yeah, man, the system rewards that. The system's trying to push you in that direction. And, like, it is incredibly bold and brave and strong to retain that part of yourself. You know what I mean? You got to retain that part of yourself. You can't let that part die,
It is recommended that businesses minimize the risk of info-stealer malware infections by imposing the use of password managers, enforcing multi-factor authentication, and setting strict controls on personal device use. Furthermore, employees should be trained to identify and avoid common infection channels such as malicious Google ads, YouTube videos, and Facebook posts. Related.
But yeah, we have people who have come here after hacking the government, you know what I mean? If you're doing crime, I just ask you don't bring it here, because I don't want any of you to get in trouble. I don't want anyone to get in trouble because of this community. We definitely have people who are feds who, like, monitor this community, right? I'm not even trying to sound alarmist. I'm just being realistic. We've been doing this for a while. I've pissed off a lot of people. I have worked with a lot of people who are Fed adjacent. I've gone to school with people who now work for the NSA and the CIA and the FBI. And even though I didn't go down that path, they're still here. They still check in from time to time. So you never know who's watching in chat. You never know who's watching in chat. If you wouldn't say it in front of a cop's face, maybe you don't say it here. You could say ACAB, you could say 1312, you could say fuck the police, you could say fuck authority. But, you know, just by looking into free and open source software at a higher level, at a lower level. Follow? Follow what? So, just by looking into this stuff at a lower level, right? By looking into this open source software, by becoming a Linux enthusiast, you are put on a list. Linux enthusiasts are on a list. Open source software enthusiasts are on a list. It's been that way for a long time. It's just the reality. You're labeled as an extremist if you're really, really into this shit. If you're interested in your privacy as a private citizen, you're on the list. You know what I mean? So, that's just the way it is. Not trying to sound alarmist or like doomer-pilled. You know, the only way that we can fight back is by having more good people get involved. We need more good people to get involved and to become hackers. You're just telling someone recently capitalism will have those of us who kept our compassion asking what is wrong with us for leaving our fellow humans and trying to get... Yeah, like people, like even if I'm like out and about. It's a pretty cool list though, right? If you want to find the most base people, check that shit out. You know, go find those Fed lists. You know, we've had people in here who have hacked government agencies that are actually passing anti-trans legislation, anti-abortion legislation, you know? And they're like, fuck the feds. They come in here like, fuck the feds, fuck everybody who's monitoring my work, fuck. You know, like, agreed. But like, you know, I can't condone crime here. So yeah, I like you guys. I don't want you to go to jail. Okay. So... say info stealers are being sold en masse on the dark web and on, say, dark web marketplaces, forums, and Telegram channels. These pose a significant risk to businesses who are not doing proper secrets management and see security. Yeah, right now? Yeah, that's fine. I'm streaming. Is that okay? Okay. No, that's cool. That's fine. Hey, I'm just talking about like cybercrime, so like I'm gonna be saying a lot of weird stuff, guys. I'm gonna be talking about like nation state actors hacking each other and okay, cool. Okay, sorry, a ton of people just shut up. So these pose a significant risk to businesses who aren't doing proper security management, see security as an afterthought, right? There are hundreds of thousands of credentials being sold right now on the dark web and these Telegram, you know, groups. The stolen information, right? Obviously, private credentials, private logs are top tier. Whatever has the most information, right? Like heuristics that then could be used and reutilized in a cyber attack, you know, a targeted phishing scam, spear phishing, etc. So this is all packaged up and resold. So this company did is all packaged up and Yo, that's funny. That's funny, Frizzle. Oh my god. Actually, serious topic, right? It is. Okay. So basically, Redline Stealer, like we talked about, Raccoon, Aurora, these are all stealers that you can buy for under $250. So yeah, I mean, you could buy these in most countries around the world. You could buy a Redline Stealer, which is made by North Korea. I think it was made by North Korea. I think a lot of these are Russian too, just like normal Russian actors. So the thing about Russia, guys, is like recently they even passed a bill that allows you to hack other countries as long as they're not Moldova, Belarus, or Russian IP addresses. You're allowed to basically, they've given the green light to cybercrime. And I'm not like Russophobic or anything, but you gotta admit that's kind of wild. You know what I mean? So info stealers are being sold. We're gonna put that together so we save a character. Info stealers are being sold in mass on the dark web. Significant risks. Not doing C properties. Here, we'll just cut this out. Suppose a significant risk to businesses across all sectors as Yeah, well, basically, the Russian Congress or whatever, their assembly, like, came together. Yeah, yeah. So basically, it was like a tacit code. It was like unspoken, and now it's like explicit. You know what I mean? These pose a significant risk to businesses across all sectors, as corporate credentials are packaged up and sold in bundles. These are the most sought after assets. Oof. Okay, let's see. We're one character over. In Telegram. Groups. Bam. Fixed. Does this need a hyphen? English be weird, bro. Pose. Your boy. Needs to check his spelling all the time. Alright, here we go. Guys, exclamation mark Twitter if you want to see the previous cybercrime news. YouTube if you want to see the videos of them. Bam. Okay, I'm going to pass you guys this link here too.